Fontbonne University Griffins, and your Greenville University Panthers. Greenville is a university that empowers students for lives of character and serves through transforming Christ-centered education. And we welcome all people into our sport events. As your host, we would like to offer an invitation. Please join us in a time of prayer. Lord God, we thank you for the gift of sports. Let our actions today reflect your character and grace as we enjoy the gift of athleticism. We thank you for the opportunity to host Fontbonne on our campus. We pray for the safety and protection of all, both on and off the court. We pray that we honor you in all that we do, but especially through the demonstration of humility, patience, and self-control. May what we do here assist us in becoming better disciples in our journey of faith in Christ. Amen. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we will honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now, let's meet the starters for today's game. At guard/forward for Fontbonne, a freshman from Blackburn, Missouri, number 0, Maddie Nelson. At guard for Greenville, a senior from London, Illinois, number 11, At guard/forward for Fontbonne, a sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri, number 3, Jeremiah Bailey. A senior from Greenville, Illinois, number 5, Hampshire. At guard/forward for Fontbonne, a junior from Sullivan, Missouri, number 10, Kaya Harper. At guard for Greenville, a senior from London, Illinois, number 14, At guard for Fontbonne, a senior from Hazelwood, Missouri, number 23, Courtney White. At guard for Greenville, a junior from Anna, Illinois, number 21, Matilda Duncan. At guard/forward for Fontbonne, a junior from Greenville, Illinois, number 22, Riley Pickett. And at forward for Greenville, a senior from Evansville, Illinois, number 23, Alan Stevens.
Welcome. I'm Doug Faulkner, along with Tyler Rosen, our guest resident here at Greenville University. And we're about ready to get this one underway on a Saturday afternoon. Greenville University's women's team is going to take on the Griffins in St. Louis from Fontbonne University. Greenville with a big win. We may talk about that throughout the broadcast on Wednesday night to put them at the catbird seat, number 1 in the conference at this point with a 3-0 record. Fontbonne is going to be tough to deal with here today. They have a freshman, Madeline Nelson, who's scoring about 19 points a game. She's in the center of your screen, number 0, and she'll jump against Madeline Stevens, who's also averaging right at 19 points a game for the Panthers. This should be a good one. Tyler and I looking forward to bringing it to you. Fontbonne will start with the tip, and this is Bailey getting trapped right out of the gate. Gets it to White. White throws it down underneath the basket, and it's going to be a quick deuce. They take advantage of that trap in the backcourt. Fontbonne does, and Nelson with the first basket for Fontbonne. Fontbonne with a loose press, just putting on token pressure, and it takes about 8 seconds off the clock for Greenville to get it in. Now they're throwing the ball around the perimeter in their secondary break. Up off the double screen is Emily Reinick, dribbling out front, pushes it to the left. And that's Michaela Bundren. She hasn't played a bunch this year, played one game so far. Dumps it into Madeline Steven, and she's going to get fouled going up underneath the basket. And I believe that'll be 2 shots.
Yeah, and that was just a really good job there by Bundren and Steven. They kind of ran a little close to each other, a little tight there in some small spaces. Neither one rushed. Stevens draws the contact. We know what she can do at the line.
And Greenville all year has been able to pass very well, Tyler, in small spaces.
Yeah.
You're looking right now at the free throw line at Greenville's leading assist leader on the team, believe it or not. Madeline Steven, our post player.
She can really do it all, too. We've seen her step out and shoot the three quite well throughout her career, and especially this year.
Now Fontbonne working through this Greenville press, and it'll be over there at the left wing with Bailey. Bailey's got a lot of speed and a lot of athleticism. This is Pickett along the right wing. And now we have Nelson out front. She can shoot the three. Pickett back out to White. White takes it on the dribble, and it bounces off her foot and comes to Bailey. Almost stolen, and it will go out of bounds and be Greenville ball. Good defense there by Abigail Reinick on White.
Really just great defense all around there for the Panthers. Forced the shot clock violation. Big defensive stand, and now look to get your first lead of the afternoon.
And that will be the Panthers now rotating the ball around. There it is underneath to Madeline Steven, and she puts it up and in. A nice cross pick there to get an easy bucket right underneath the basket there. Now the Panthers will go and double team in the short corner. Bailey able to shift it out to White. A three-pointer on the way is no good. Bailey with the rebound, and she tried to draw a foul, could not. White came in, and White gets a lot of those, folks. Puts it up and in underneath the basket to tie 4-4. Just a little bit of a token pressure here from Fontbonne early, and the Panthers are just a little out of sort trying to get the ball into the front court. Fontbonne doing its job, forcing Greenville to take about 10 seconds to get the ball up the court. Now that ball's thrown away by Steven. Up comes Pickett for Fontbonne. She's going to give the ball eventually to Bailey. She's going to drive baseline, and they're going to call a hand check foul on Abigail Reinick, I believe.
A pretty furious pace to start this game here, Doug, and would think maybe slowing things down a bit and finding an early mismatch down low with Madeline Steven on the offensive end might be the key here for the Panthers, but got to slow things down on the defensive end too and get a stop.
And that ball is stolen by Powell. Powell will take it all the way for a bucket.
It's a good way to start there with upping the defensive pressure. Turnover off the inbound, goes for 2 the other way.
Fontbonne rushes it up the court. Air ball from outside by Harbor. Rebound comes to Steven. Steven pushes it up to Cantrell. Cantrell gives it back out to Powell Goodman from 3. Powell Goodman coming in and making a dent in this game early. Now Nelson for Fontbonne fires a 3. No good. Off the hands of Pickett. It will be Greenville ball. Greenville making all kinds of substitutions here. Hoffman and Seymour in for Cantrell and Steven. And Fontbonne with this loose press, just trying to make Greenville handle it, and then they're trying to trap just across half court. Handled well by Meek for the Panthers. Now the Panthers moving the ball around the perimeter. Meek into the middle, kicks it to Hoffman. Hoffman thinks about it, and she kicks it out to Emily Reinick from 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 12-4 here early, Greenville.
Certainly can't leave Emily Reinick that wide open. Spot up at the three-point line. She'll hurt you more times than not, as she did right there.
Pickett back to Bailey. Bailey on the way to the hole, and they're going to call a foul on Hoffman on the drive. And so far, Greenville, check that. Fontbonne has not played Ronshausen. Ronshausen, check that. She is the transfer from UMSL in St. Louis. Nelson with a good step through for 2.
Really nice move by Nelson in the paint there. Patient, clinical with it, went up and easy off the glass.
Iberg around to Meek, around to Powell, Goodman to Hoffman, into Seymour. Seymour kicks it back out to Iberg. Here comes Meek along the baseline, and that foul's going to be called on Bailey as Meek tried to go baseline there.
We're going to get our first look at Ronshausen here. She checks into the game first time this afternoon, playing in getting her 5th appearance here for Fontbonne this season.
Coach Fitzgerald doing a great job picking up Ronshausen from UMSL. Greenville with their inbounds play, and Meek is going to throw it away, and look who steals it. It's Ronshausen, and she puts it up in 2. She was a good player for UMSL, and Greenville struggling just a little bit with this Fontbonne. I hesitate to call it a press. They're just kind of making Greenville take their time getting it up the floor. A good look there by Iberg, but it's out of the reach of Seymour and out of bounds. That'll be a Greenville turnover. Greenville doing the same. They're putting a press on Fontbonne. Not a lot of pressure here. Pickett gets it up into the half court. Now Greenville will come and trap. Harbor in the left corner. Skips it clear across the court. Knocked out of bounds by Hoffman.
Good read there by Hoffman, and sometimes you don't have to come up with the pick. Just starting things over, slowing things down a bit will do the trick. That was a nice play there.
Pickett trying to get it inbounds. Does to Ronshausen. She gets it in to White, and she's good in there. White puts it up off glass, and now all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Greenville had a 8-point lead, and it's cut down to 2. Panthers rotating it around the perimeter. This is Iberger, and they're going to call a foul on Seymour, who came up to try to set a ball pick. And they said she was moving, and in comes Abigail Reinick. And Steven back in the game. And also that'll be Bundren, right? Yeah. Bundren back in the game.
And probably the right point of the game to have this happen here is Coach Mulholland gets 3 starters back into the game, slow down this run a bit here from the Griffins.
And that ball's knocked away by Hoffman. They're going to say it's a foul. But I thought the Panthers were putting on very good pressure against Ronshausen, and she was kind of losing control of the ball. Nonetheless, they're going to say it's Fontbonne ball and a foul on Hoffman. Here comes Nelson. She's going to drive to the bucket, put up a little baseline jumper, and it's good. All of a sudden, we got a tie game. Abigail Reinick pushes up the right wing to Steven. I thought she might look from 3. She didn't. She dribbles along the baseline, now brings it back out. The ball goes into Iberg. She puts it up, no good. And out comes Fontbonne. Ronshausen kicks it up to Nelson. Over in the corner to Harbor. Harbor now dribbles in the middle. Kicks it to Ronshausen from 3. No good. Rebound, Bundren. She gets it to Hoffman. Hoffman looking up. Gets it up to Abigail Reinick. Now Greenville struggling to get into something, going very slowly here. Look a little bit confused. They rotated around to the left wing. Hoffman for 3. The thing I like about Hoffman is she doesn't hesitate.
Nope. Catch and shoot. About the definition there for Hoffman on that stroke. Nothing but net.
A little bit of ice in her veins. Good play by Iberg there against the press. She does a good job in the middle, or at least that's my initial read on being able to anticipate the pass, and that's going to help this Panther press. Allie Cantrell now is checked in the game for Hoffman.
Emily Reineck back in as well, so got the full starting lineup in for the Panthers. And never able to go back down during that run, so a good sign there for the bench of the Panthers moving forward.
Fontbonne throws a cross-court pass to Ronshausen. She dribbles, throws it out to Nelson at the top of the key. It goes into Busher. Now back to Nelson. She takes it all the way to the hole for a nice-looking layup. This Nelson, as a freshman, is a good-looking player for Fontbonne. Allie Cantrell gets it up into the front court for the Panthers. They'll throw it around the perimeter. It comes up to Madeline Stephen. Good ball movement by the Panthers here. Now the ball comes out to Emily Reineck. Now Abigail hands off to Michaela. Michaela into Stephen. And that is a three-point shot by Bundren. No good. Rebound out to Fontbonne. They push it up the floor quickly to Nelson. Nelson dribbles baseline. It comes out of her hands to Ronshausen. And now it's thrown in the center to Busher, who takes Bundren to the hole for 2 points. And Fontbonne grabs their first lead in this game. Second lead. Check that.
First lead since 2-0, so I hope our fans at home will forgive you for that. First since 2-0, and Stephen with a quick answer back at the other end.
Great pass there by Bundren into Madeline Stephen for 2. Now Fontbonne works it up against this Greenville press, and Ronshausen will take a 3. No good. Rebound Stephen. Stephen looks long, gets it up to Emily Reineck. She puts it up left hand and good. Good look by Madeline Stephen. That's why she leads the Panthers in assists. Fontbonne had their back turned to the ball, and that's why that pass got through to Emily Reineck. Now from the corner, no good from Harbor. Out comes Allie Cantrell. She's pushing it up the floor. Gives it off to Madeline Stephen, right wing. She'll let one fly. No good. Hard off the back of the rim, and now Fontbonne pushes it up. Ronshausen into the front court. She pushes it up. Shot up by Fontbonne from 3. No good. And that shot is a new player on the court. We'll get the name here shortly. Ball Emily Reineck in the corner. Corner pushes it out to Bundren. They work the ball around the corner to Cantrell. It's going into Stephen. Stephen with a nice spin move up and no good with her left hand. And that last shot by Fontbonne was by Fopp. Fopp with the shot from the corner. Now we have some substitutions for Fontbonne. And that's going to be White. And it's going to also be, let me check here. It is going to be, why is Pickett in the game for Fontbonne? Madeline Stephen, free throw is good. Rolled around the rim, hit the backboard, rolled around again and in. Nice touch by Madeline Stephen. Second free throw is up and good. Now Greenville pushes their lead back to 5 points. I believe so. I didn't think maybe they put the 20 up early, so it says 4 points. Now White gets down into the paint and kicks it back out. The ball's reversed to Pickett on the left wing. Pickett throws it back out to Fopp. Fopp works in. Kicks it out to Pickett. Now move to White. Good defense there by Greenville on the help side. And that forces a long shot by Busher. And she somehow gets the ball to stick on top of the shot clock. That should be a 4-point play for Busher and Fontbonne. How in the world she got that to happen, I have no idea. Hit the back of the rim, rolled up, bounced on top of the backboard, and then up on top of the shot clock, and out comes B.J. Schneck. He's the master at this. We'll see how long it takes him, how many shots to get this ball off. That's 1. That's 2. Still working up and underneath, and he gets it on the third try, B.J. Schneck. Now they put the point up on the board. So Greenville a little slow on this scoreboard. It's 21-16. That's what I thought it was. Panthers up 5. Hoffman into the front court. And in the half court, Fontbonne trying to put a little pressure on our guards, and they've created a few steals. Greenville has not been pressured like that out front, or they weren't anticipating it. Meek took it to the hole, but that shot was blocked by Fopp. Now to White. White brings it in over to Ronshausen, to Busher at the top of the key. She throws it out to White. White will let a three fly in good. Big three by White. If she does that, it's going to be a long day. Her strength is 2-point shooting, folks. She's a good driver, but her 3-point percentage is not her strength. And that ends the first quarter, 21-19, in a great first quarter for both teams. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network.
It started in a small town in southern Illinois, where a dream to play collegiate basketball took me from my familiar Christian home to a faith-filled university. And before I knew it, I found a new home, on the court with my basketball team, as a student body president, where I felt even more in love with my community. And I found a leader, in myself, in the marketing department, covering social media, learning about photography and video, and starting a podcast. On the stage at a local church, and in the dorm as an RA. In the classroom, student teaching as an English education major. A major I chose when I decided to cultivate my passion for writing, and when I felt a call from God to become a guidance counselor and a coach. On this path, I was challenged like I've never been challenged before. I learned to dig deep, trust myself, and trust God. My faith grew strong, my friends became my family, and when I tripped up, I found support and love, guidance and grace. I learned that I was uniquely made to shape.
Welcome back to Greenville University. Alongside Tyler Rosen, I'm Doug Faulkner, bringing to you Greenville University women's basketball versus the Fontbonne Griffins here today. 21-19 after the first quarter. Both teams on fire. Great pass by Madeline Stephen to Abigail Reinick. And look at Fontbonne try to out-throw Allie Cantrell, but Cantrell able to go up and grab it for the steal. Cantrell in the right corner. Trying to rotate the ball, and they do. Abigail Reinick looking to try to get it into Stephen, throws it to her twin sister underneath the basket. Emily Reinick, no good. Up comes White for Fontbonne.
Yeah, it was a good defensive recovery there from Ronshausen to get back on Emily Reinick, force a tough shot.
Fontbonne shot 53% in that first quarter, and Greenville shot 60%. The three is let loose out there by Nelson. Rebound by Pal Goodman. A great pass up to Abigail Reinick for two. And right away, head coach Mike Fitzgerald calls a great timeout to stop this momentum. Pal Goodman, when she comes into the game, has a tendency to make a dent right away.
Yeah, really good start to the second quarter for Greenville. Defensively being very active, forcing a tough shot, and aided by maybe a couple bad decisions here to start by the Griffins. But the Panthers have answered offensively at the other end, and the three ball just continues to fail. Fontbonne 1 for 9 coming into the start of the second quarter. Now 1 for 10, maybe 1 for 11.
Yeah, and they're shooting. Fontbonne was shooting overall from the game 9 for 17. And as Tyler mentioned, their strength probably isn't that three-point shot. And it's going to be to Greenville's advantage to force Fontbonne to shoot that three ball. Greenville on the other side is 3 for 5 so far from three-point land for 60%. So I thought I was going pretty quick in that first quarter, and then when I saw the shooting percentages, I knew why. This game is played at a pretty good clip here early, and I think in the big picture it's probably edges to be Greenville's favor because I think they have just a little bit more depth. Now Greenville goes to a man-to-man press. Abigail Reinick putting pressure on Bailey. And I think this is a good move by Coach Mulholland. I really do. I like this man-to-man press changeup right here. White at the top of the key to Nelson. Nelson now will try to drive, but drives into help. They throw it back into Nelson underneath the bucket, and she puts it up and in. Good pass by Riley Pickett from the corner into Nelson. And that's exactly what Fontbonne needed to try to get the momentum switch. A good pass to Emily Reinick, but White goes up and takes it away. Cantrell tried to get it to Reinick. Now Pickett will let a three fly. In and out, no good. Rebound, Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman has the ball stripped by White. Under to... That ball went to Ronshausen and goes up for a bucket. And just like that, Fontbonne stops Greenville's momentum there after their timeout. And Ronshausen will be shooting a free throw to make this a 1-point game with 8:11 to go before half.
And it really looked like Powell Goodman dribbled it off of a teammate trying to work up the floor. So again, the Panthers a bit out of sorts trying to work up the floor. Turns into old-fashioned three-point play for the Griffins.
Fontbonne keeps backing up in their press. Panthers get the ball into Madeline Stephen, kicked out to Emily Reinick. She's short on her three, rebounded and saved by Allie Cantrell. Now Cantrell actually gets the ball back from Stephen, now into the short corner to Emily Reinick. She dribbles out, and now the Panthers moving it around, and Abigail Reinick will let a three fly and good. Abigail Reinick, 28-24. Panthers with the lead with 7:30 to go in the second. Ronshausen thought about it and passes it back out front to Pickett. She dumps it inside to White. This is where White's tough. She puts it up and in. And she's going to try to get that three-point play the old-fashioned way. White is really good in there, and Fontbonne does a good job taking White and getting her inside. She's very, very strong. Keeps the ball away from the offense, or the defense, take that back. Keeps the ball in a position where it doesn't get blocked. And she converts on the old-fashioned three-point play to take this to a 28-27 lead, and it is a Panther lead. Now the Panthers working around the ball in on the perimeter. Cantrell throws it in the quarter. Emily Reinick will let a three fly, and it's way short. And up comes Nelson and Fontbonne into the front court. Nelson trying to penetrate, but good defense there by Allie Cantrell. Pickett trying to use White's ball pick, and they get it into White, and they're going to call, I believe, Iberg for the foul, but we'll see. And the Panthers may, Tyler, have to figure out a way to guard White.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to have to talk about that at halftime just a little bit. Now we got wholesale changes for Greenville. Everybody except for Iberg will have a break here with 6:55 to go in the third. Hoffman, Meek, Seymour, and Pal Goodman all on the floor now for Greenville. White will let a three fly, and by golly, she is on fire to give Fontbonne a 2-point lead. When White hits from three, that makes them a totally different team. Greenville now with their second unit out on the floor. Pal Goodman stops, takes a little 15-footer on the baseline, and drills it. Nice little move there by Pal Goodman. She put her head down, drove baseline, and then backed up. Here comes Bailey quickly. She launches it to Ronshausen. She misses the three. We got a battle in the corner for the rebound, and they'll say that it goes off of Pal Goodman for Fontbonne ball. Coach Mulholland questioning that. There were two people scrambling for that ball in the left corner. Very hard for Rosen and I to see from here who it exactly went off.
And I think maybe Coach Mulholland's arguing that Savannah Powell Goodman was pushed into the ball as it went out of bounds. Not much of an effort from the Griffins as far as saving the ball from going out of bounds. Maybe that was the issue.
Ronshausen with a three to give Fontbonne a 3-point lead. And just as Tyler Rosen and I were talking about Fontbonne's struggles from the three, all of a sudden they've unloaded and started to hit them. And that's what's really helped them here after a good strategic timeout by Coach Fitzgerald. Now a three-pointer by Meek from the corner to tie this one up. Maddie Meek from the corner for the Panthers. Up comes Bailey into the front court for Fontbonne. She's going to take it to the hole. She lowers her shoulder, but they're going to call a block. I thought Bailey might have lowered her shoulder right there at the end. I mean, she did get to the bucket very well, and she's very capable of that, but it looked like she might have lowered her shoulder and went into Meek. What I don't know is if Meek was in the restricted area when that happened.
I think she was out. Both heels were clearly out. I think there you almost like to see a no call. That's just a tough physical play down low, and you're going to get that in the paint and along the block there. I just think maybe you let that play and let it work itself out. But nonetheless, 4 fouls already here in the second quarter.
Bailey hits her first free throw and misses the second one. Fontbonne up 1. Panthers up into the forecourt with Abigail Reinick. Pal Goodman on the right wing, dumps it into Seymour. The lefty gives it back out to Hoffman, and Hoffman makes a nice crossover move, 15-footer, nothing but net. 35-34 Greenville. Bailey with a long pass to Ronshausen. And now Fontbonne working the ball around the perimeter. Bailey decides she'll go to the bucket again. No foul called on the drive. Maddie Meek bringing it up for the Panthers. Pal Goodman on the right wing. Abigail Reinick and the Panthers moving the ball around the perimeter. Seymour with the ball pick and roll, but they didn't see her. Hoffman out front. Now the Panthers taking their time. 9 seconds on the shot clock. They tried to get the ball into Meek, and Fontbonne was playing aggressively against Seymour. I checked that. I said Meek. They were trying to get the ball into Seymour, and Ronshausen tried to get up over the top and fouled Seymour. That's the first on Ronshausen. Now they get the ball into Meek. Hoffman does, and they call a foul. Coach Fitzgerald, I don't think, is happy with that.
No, just a silly foul there from Busker. She was well behind Steven. Anytime you go over the top and from the back, you're probably going to draw the whistle.
Madeline Steven now will head to the free throw line. Panthers up 35-34. First free throw rolls around the rim and is good. She's got a good shooting touch, Madeline Steven does. 2-point lead for Greenville with 4:58 to go before half. Her second one does the same thing. Hits every part of the rim and the backboard before it goes in. And White throws it out of bounds, attempting to get the ball to Harbor in the backcourt, and just simply threw it out of bounds. Harbor could not get to it. That'll be Greenville ball as they were able to force the Fontbonne turnover. Abigail Reinick out front. We haven't heard from Abigail Reinick much today. And Madeline Steven kicks it out to Hoffman. She lets the three go. No good. Rebound Busher. Now to White. White pushes it up to Ronshausen. She gets it into the forecourt to Bailey. And Busher's wide open in there. Madeline Steven playing behind her. She's going to have to get it up over Madeline Steven. Can't. Dishes it back out to White. White wanting a ball screen. Emily Reinick. And now White is switched off to Madeline Steven. She kicks it to Ronshausen, and that goes off the front of the rim. Hoffman comes back up, tries to throw a long pass to Emily Reinick, and it is intercepted by Fontbonne into the hands of White, and then Iberg fouls White in the backcourt.
Yeah, tough play there for Natalie. She's just hustling back, trying to fight for a loose ball. Unfortunately for her, Fontbonne gathers the possession, and she's just in a tough spot. Absorbs the contact, and in the bonus now go the Griffins.
And this has been an extremely fast-paced game, up and down the floor for both teams. It's not been out of control fast pace. It's just been a game played quickly. 4:09 to go here in the second. White's first free throw is good. Take the score to 37-35, 4:09.
Meek and Iberg, the only two Panthers with 2 fouls, and Bailey, the only one with 2 for the Griffins. So no one in real foul trouble yet.
That second free throw is in and out. Rebound by Emily Reinick. She pushes the ball hard into the front court, gives the ball to Cantrell. Cantrell gets into the lane, tries to kick it to Pal Goodman and can. It's intercepted by Fontbonne. White has the ball into her hands, off to Bailey. Bailey looks to try to drive, now pulls it back out. Bailey now crossover dribble into the middle, kicks it. The ball eventually gets out to Harbor, no good, and the ball goes off Cantrell's hands and out of bounds. Officials doing a good job of communicating over there on the sideline. One official didn't see that it went off of Cantrell, called it Greenville ball, but he was corrected by his partner. Good piece of officiating there. Fontbonne underneath their own basket, struggling to get it in, and now they do to Nelson. Nelson penetrates in, kicks it back out to White from three. In and out, rebound Emily Reinick. Reinick into the front court. Kicks it out to Allie Cantrell. We need her to take that three. Madeline Stephen out front. Backdoor cut by Pal Goodman. No good. Cantrell goes up on the offensive rebound, and she'll draw the foul there. Allie Cantrell. Some good hustle play there. 3:18 to go in this one. 37-35 Panthers. Allie Cantrell's first free throw is good. Allie Cantrell will hit that free throw for you, I'm telling you. Coach's daughter, and she's got really good shooting motion. Second one is up, and just as I say that, it's the broadcaster's curse. She misses.
Shooting 76% on the year,
which I guess supports my point. 38-35, Greenville. Fontbonne with the ball. Greenville by 3 with a little over this 3 minutes. They get the ball into the front court to Harbor. She throws it long all the way to the far corner. Kicked out to Nelson for a three. My goodness, Fontbonne is letting it fly from three. And this has been a good second quarter for them from three-point line. Now Greenville thought they had Madeline Stephen there. They didn't give it to her. Fontbonne switching the screen out front, making it a little bit difficult. Now Pal Goodman coming off the double and has the ball out front. Uses her dribble. Shot clock down to 6 seconds. It's eventually kicked to Emily Reinick, who nails the three. 41-38 Greenville. What a game this is. White bringing it up front. Gets it up to Nelson. Nelson can go a long ways on one dribble. Her stride is unbelievable. And for a freshman, she's going to be in the running for newcomer of the year. I'm just telling you that.
I was thinking that earlier, about 5 minutes into this game when we saw the way she started. She's been really impressive. And a gutsy take of a three with a hand in her face last time down. Nothing but net. Really impressive freshman to watch.
Pick it to White to Bush inside. Bush working around, throws it back out to White. She tries to kick it to Nelson. We're going to have 3 seconds in the lane on Fontbonne. Coach Fitzgerald's asking about that. 2 minutes left to go before half. Greenville leads 41-38.
Certainly not a violation you see called very often anymore. So you can see why the question, because it seems like it's one of those you could probably call each possession down the floor, but goes against the Griffins here.
Hoffman gets it into Seymour. Greenville was in this 1-4 set where they line up 2 people at elbow and 2 wings. Hoffman out front gets by the pressure of Nelson. Little scoop shot from a little floater by Hoffman. It goes down. Fontbonne quickly into the front court. White will slow things down up top. Now throws inside to Busher. Busher kicks out to Pickett from 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net from Pickett. 43-41. Fontbonne living by the 3 right now after being 1 for 9 in the first quarter. Greenville throwing it around the perimeter. Abigail Reinick will let a 3 go short off the backboard and then down and good. We've got a 3 fest going on H.J. Long Gymnasium. 46-41. We still got a minute to go. We should have walking, and we do. Fopp walking with the ball for Fontbonne. And Busher will come out for Fontbonne, and Ronshausen will check in. 58 seconds to go. It's almost like first team to 50 here in the first half.
They might have to cancel the three-point contest at halftime. The way these two teams have been punishing the net.
Greenville working around the perimeter. Fontbonne covers that little play very good. Hoffman decides to let one go from three. Why not? No good. And here comes Fontbonne. They'll slow it down just a tad. They're going to give it to Pickett at the left wing. She had a three and decided not to pass it. And Ronshausen will take it. Let's see if Coach Mulholland wants one shot. Now he does. He shouts out for one shot. I thought he might. 46-41 Greenville, 20 seconds to go before half. Now they'll work the shot clock down as they work the ball around the perimeter. Good ball movement by the Lady Panthers here. It goes into Seymour. Seymour not looking to shoot the ball right now. Hoffman will let one fly. In and out. Rebound Seymour. And she trips. And the ball goes out of bounds to Fontbonne. They'll have 1.5 seconds to go. And the way this game goes, Tyler, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one go in.
No kidding. We'll see.
White looking for a teammate. Gets it up to Ronshausen. She lets one fly. No good. And we'll take a break and go into halftime with the Greenville Panthers leading the Fontbonne Griffins 46-41. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network.
My name is Eric Garcia, and I'm a first-generation college student from Los Angeles, California. Coming to college, I wanted to continue my athletic career while pursuing an engineering degree. I wanted to fulfill my parents' dream that they had for me, getting a degree to get a really good job to help my parents from the job that they're in. I wanted to get it right for my parents to achieve their dreams, to set the example they dreamed of. As my time in Greenville went on, my passions slowly started creeping up on me without even knowing. Going into my junior year, I bought a camera, and that's when everything changed for me. As I looked through the lens, it was like I was looking at the world from a whole different perspective with countless possibilities. Once I got going with the camera, people began to see things in me that I knew were there, but did not know how to embrace just yet. The Greenville community came alongside me, and like I have always done here at Greenville, I put into work and the opportunities followed. I ended up shooting video for my school and telling stories of people like me who had their own hidden talents and passions, their own stories. I learned that I am more than a first-generation college student, more than an engineering major, more than a photographer. I'm all these things, uniquely made to pursue my passions and purpose, and I'm just getting started.
Welcome back to Greenville University, H.J. Long Gymnasium. I'm Doug Faulkner, along with my very skilled sidekick, Tyler Rosen. And it's a 46-41 game. Some stats here at halftime. Greenville has 9 turnovers compared to Fontbonne 6. My guess is Coach Mulholland brought that up at halftime. Greenville leads 18-12 on the boards. And Greenville has, this isn't real surprising, they're a little deeper team than Fontbonne, 17-10 on bench points for Greenville. And surprisingly enough, Greenville has shot 7 for 14 from three land. The way I was announcing, I thought that was probably going to be Fontbonne. But Fontbonne, surprisingly, has only shot 5 of 20 from three. They do lead Greenville, however, with 20 points in the paint. And the other great stat for Fontbonne is they have 12 assists here in the first half compared to Greenville's 11. So Fontbonne will start here, trailing by 5. Beginning the third quarter, White will bring it into the front court for Fontbonne. Goes to Bailey. Bailey penetrates, kicks it out to Ronshausen, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Greenville ball. Fontbonne sticks with this pressure in the backcourt that is really not pressing. Now, Greenville works it around the corner. Here comes Madeline Stephen off a double pick, and now we've got this back pick double pick out to Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman shifts it, it goes to the corner to Emily Reinick. Now back inside to Emily Stephen. Emily Stephen kicks it back out to Emily Reinick. No good. Rebound Nelson, and it's stolen by Abigail Reinick. She kicks it. Madeline Stephen from 3 in and out. Rebound Bailey. She gives it back to White. White into the front court for Fontbonne. Bailey looks it over, throws it to Nelson at top of the key. She dribbles in, kicks it to White. White will let a 3 fly, and it's good. White has hit the 3 today for Fontbonne. 2-point game. Now out front is Abigail Reinick. She dumps it down into Madeline Stephen. Madeline Stephen up and no good. They're going to call a foul on White. White was playing directly behind Madeline Stephen. And they're going to say that White pushed Madeline Stephen on the shot, and it'll send Stephen to the 3-point line. Stephen had 8 points, a quiet 8 points in that first half. She was 4 for 4 from the line and just missed her first free throw on 2 attempts here. Her second attempt is coming. It's up, and it is good. Greenville will take a 3-point lead. Greenville trying to put a little pressure on Fontbonne, but they're allowing Fontbonne to throw the ball to half court. Now Fontbonne sends everybody up to the front court, and we are going to have Nelson step on the out-of-bounds line before she launches the 3, and Greenville will get the ball on the Fontbonne turnover. Fontbonne kind of left White out on her own in the backcourt, and that led to a difficult transition for Fontbonne and then the turnover. Emily Reinick lets a 3 fly from the corner. In and out. And up comes Fontbonne. This is Pickett. Pickett at the left wing. Tries to get it back out front to Ronshausen. And it's tipped out of bounds by Pal Goodman. Fontbonne will have the ball in front of their bench. Pickett out to Nelson. Thrown around to Bailey. Bailey can penetrate. She does. Takes it all the way to the hole. And good. Bailey for Fontbonne puts that up and in. Bailey only had 1 point and only took 1 shot in that first half.
Yeah, I didn't see much of Bailey in that first quarter. I think picked up those 2 quick fouls and then just wasn't too involved offensively. See if that's part of the game plan here for the Griffins moving into the second half.
Bailey's free throw is up and good to tie this game. So Bailey right out of the gate takes it to the hole and completes a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. Now a steal by Fontbonne. It ends up in White's hands. She crosses into the front court. She's going to try to go to the hole. Gets all the way underneath the basket. There's a double team there. She kicks it out to Ronshausen. Now Bailey will let one fly. A three-pointer by Bailey to put Fontbonne up 50-47. All of a sudden, Bailey coming alive. Jamise Bailey. Ball goes in to Madeline Stephen. She works it, throws it back out front to Allie Cantrell. Bounce pass, now out front to Emily Reinick. She'll take it to the hole. Up, no good. Rebound Nelson. She kicks it out to Ronshausen. She goes the length of the floor, puts it up off the backboard. And all of a sudden, Fontbonne's up 5 early in the third quarter. The ball is kicked to the right wing. Now back out front. Now over to Cantrell. Cantrell to Emily Reinick in this first group, playing a little hesitant. Madeline Stevens steps through on the post and puts it up and in. That's something I think Greenville needs to take advantage of. Now Pickett comes in, kicks it out to Ronshausen. A three is good by Ronshausen. Coach Mulholland will take a timeout. Fontbonne takes a 6-point lead early in the third, 55-49. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Panthers Sports Network.
Out there are possibilities. You want experiences and an education that challenges you. But under all of that, you want to know that you can make a difference, no matter where your possibilities take you. We believe you can. Experiences, education, and career readiness are our standard. Developing your character and opening your eyes to how you can serve others, that's our calling.
Welcome back to the campus of Greenville University. We're in H.J. Long Gymnasium. I'm Doug Faulkner, along with my partner, Tyler Rosen, bringing this one to you live with Fontbonne coming out of the gates at halftime, red hot, and they've sprinted out to a 55-49 lead. And right here at the beginning, it's been a 14-3 run in the third quarter by Fontbonne. And so Greenville now coming in with their second unit. I think Coach Mulholland's going to have to be rather careful here.
Yeah, and I think it's going to start with keeping your integrity on the offensive end. Saw a couple rush shots, then work down to Madeline Stephen. Really good idea, as you mentioned, to work that.
Greenville is tempted, and now they're going to work on turning it over with a 10-second count, and they do. And this is one of those rotations where you want to get your starters a break. But at the same time, Fontbonne just went on a 14-3 run, so we'll see how long Coach Mulholland sticks with this crew and if Fontbonne is able to take advantage. The pass from out of bounds from White is knocked out of bounds by Pal Goodman of Greenville. They'll throw it in from the bench side on the baseline. White throws it into Nelson. Nelson goes to the hole and scores. Just like that, it's an 8-point lead by Fontbonne. 16-3 run. Here comes Hoffman all the way into the front court. She throws it over. Ronshausen's up to Bailey. Bailey will take it up. And no good, but a foul on Meek. I hope Bailey's okay. I think she just went up a little bit awkward. I couldn't tell. She was holding her elbow just a little bit. Seems to be okay now. The official's asking her about it, and she's shaking her head. This gives Fontbonne a chance to push this lead up to a double-digit lead with 6:17 to go. First free throw is short by Bailey. And Bailey has shown her athleticism here in this third quarter. I think having two fouls, as Tyler Rosen mentioned, might have slowed her down a little bit, made her hesitant in the first half. 58-49 Fontbonne. And Fontbonne's press is picked up as Greenville will throw it away. Coach Mulholland now going down his bench, and in comes his starting unit. Just kind of what I thought might happen, as I mentioned to you, looking at the score after taking out his first unit. I've taken him out, and the second unit coming on and promptly throwing it away twice. Fontbonne now with this 9-point lead has the ball out in their own half court. Nelson being guarded by Emily Reinick. Good help by Madeline Stephen. White throws it into Nelson. Help by Pal Goodman and then blocked by Madeline Stephen. Here comes the Panthers. Emily Reinick into the front court. Kicks it to Abigail. Now back to Emily. Right to Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman does a spin move but can't put it up in the basket. It's short rebound Fontbonne. Bailey into the front court to Ronshausen. Ronshausen dribbles, tries to split two defenders, doesn't, goes off her foot out of bounds. Greenville ball.
Yeah, first time that we've seen Ronshausen try and do too much there. Had the option to hand it off to a teammate, trying to force the issue. Turns into a turnover.
Fontbonne has tried to increase their pressure here in the full court. And now we'll have a jump ball, and it's worked so far for Fontbonne. It has really worked for them. Greenville is able to get the ball into their front court, but not convert when they have a 2-on-1 break. I think they have it. Now the pass in to Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman spins, puts it up, no good, gets a rebound, puts it back up and in. Pal Goodman sticks with it to make it a 7-point lead. Greenville, their press is being taken advantage of by Fontbonne. Nelson will let a three fly. No good. Out comes Abilene Rennick. She'll take it into the front court. Right at the free throw line. Tries to step through. Tries to put it up with her left hand. No good. Rebound Bailey for Fontbonne. Bailey looks it over. Gives it to Nelson. Right at the top of the key. Now to White. White holds it there about 17 feet from the bucket. Gives it to Bailey. Bailey will try to drive. She does. Puts a little scoop shot up from the baseline to take the score to 60-51. Now Greenville has this advantage in the half court. Let's see if they can take advantage. Pal Goodman from 10. It's good. I think Greenville can take advantage of this press if they'll do. Pal Goodman with the interception on the press. She knocked it out of the hands of Bailey. And I think Greenville can do this if they just get a little bit more aggressive. And I know if Coach Mulholland heard me say that, he'd say we can't give up a layup at the other end. And on the discussion would go. Pal Goodman, 4:16 to go here in the third. Her first free throw is up and good. 60-54. Greenville cuts the Fontbonne lead to 6. Pal Goodman's next shot is up and good. So getting the starters back out on the floor has helped Greenville curtail that run in the third quarter. Now the ball's clicked by Emily Reinick. Fontbonne struggling. They push it up in the front court. And Ronhausen, and it is blocked. Blocked by Madeline Stephen.
An emphatic block at that.
That's her second block of the day. Fontbonne will have the ball out of bounds underneath their own bucket. They're looking. They give the ball into Nelson in the corner. Fontbonne looks a little bit out of sync. Ronshausen will let a three fly. No good. Bailey comes from nowhere and ties up Emily Reinick for a jump ball. And it'll be Fontbonne ball on the jump ball. They have the ball underneath their own basket. White throws it into Nelson. Back to Bailey. Bailey, a wing three. Hard off the back of the rim. It hits the shot clock. It'll be Greenville ball. And now Fontbonne, let's see if they back out of this press a little bit. They don't look like they're going to. I think Greenville can take advantage of it. Abigail Reinick now pushes it up to her sister. Let's see if her sister attacks. Emily does. Kicks it to the corner. Pal Goodman in and out. Rebound. Allie Cantrell, and there'll be a foul called on White for Fontbonne. Allie Cantrell going to the boards hard. Greenville will have the ball underneath their own basket. Goes right to Madeline Stevens. She puts it up with her left hand, and it takes it to a three-point game. Let's see what Greenville, they're going to force Fontbonne and now create a foul. That's what you don't want. You can force the pressure, but you don't want a foul, and that foul is on Emily Reinick. You don't want that. That's her third.
The only one in foul
I
trouble.
believe, yeah.
For the Panthers at least. And she'll come out, take a seat.
And that forces her to come out of the game with 3:30 to go in the third. And let's see if the Panthers can keep the momentum up without Emily Reinick in the game. Bailey throws it over to Nelson. She'll try to drive, and she does a spin move, gets around, gets her own rebound after a missed shot. She gets her own rebound again and puts it up, no good. And the Panthers just can't corral a defensive rebound. Nelson with 2 offensive rebounds in there. She's long and lanky and athletic.
5'10" freshman out of Blackwell, Missouri. Heck of an effort there.
Now that pass is taken away by Greenville. I think we'll have a jump ball, and it should be Greenville ball. Coach Mulholland screaming at his players in a good way to get in position on that out-of-bounds play call. And they did just what he said, and they were able to come up with a jump ball. The ball's thrown across court to Iberg, now to Abigail Reinick, and what are they going to call? They're going to call a foul on Ronshausen. I think Greenville can attack this press, as I've been saying. And also with the depth they have, I think it'll use some energy and use Fontbonne, make them use some of their energy working against this press. Now the ball comes back into the front court with Abigail Reinick. The ball spun around the perimeter inside to Madeline Stephen, and she misses a bunny but was fouled, and now will go to the line. Coach Fitzgerald yelling some instructions out to his team about having some help side, but that's a little play run by Coach Mulholland, and that cross pick is hard to guard. Comes from on the weak side. Madeline Stephen misses her first free throw. Her second one is up and rolls around the rim. That's what's been happening to her all day. Free throws have been rolling around the rim, mostly in. 60-58 in favor of Fontbonne. Bailey will bring it up into the front court for the Griffins. They dump it inside to Busher. Busher throws a nice little backdoor pass to Harbor, and Harbor is knocked out of her hands by one of the Panthers. Into the front court comes Allie Cantrell. She gives it to Emily Reinick. She misses a three. Ronshausen looks a little tired, pushes it up to Bailey, and then thrown eventually out to Harbor. Now back to Bailey, now into Busher for Fontbonne. Bailey tries to drive baseline, is able to do so, and they're going to call a foul on Madeline Stephen as she reached for a block. Bailey did a nice job shielding the ball from Madeline Stephen on that baseline drive. That's only her first on Madeline Stephen, and that's a good sign for the Panthers. 5 fouls called on Fontbonne so far and 4 on Greenville. Bailey puts up her first free throw, rolls around the rim, and good. Fontbonne has a 3-point lead here with 2:16 to go in the third. Bailey's next free throw is up and no good. Rebound Madeline Stephen. And here comes Greenville into the front court with Hoffman. Now to Reinick, now over to Pal Goodman. Back up front to Iberg. She dumps it into Stephen, and I think that's what the Panthers need to do. They're going to call a jump ball. Madeline Stephen went for a scoop shot, and Busher was all over and reached for that. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're saying she got all ball. That's the call. Didn't look like it from here.
No, and typically you see that scoop shot. If there's any sort of contest of whatever it might be, foul or jump ball, they are on the side of foul.
I like this Greenville lineup in the press with Hoffman, Powell, Goodman, and Iberg. They read the passing lanes well, and they really put in a lot of energy. Now Abigail Reinick knocks that one away, and all of a sudden this Panther press has a little bit of energy on its own. Fontbonne trying to get open. And the Panthers are in full court man-to-man. They throw a deep pass over on the right wing to Harbor. Harbor back out to Ronshausen. And that one's, that's Fopp. Fopp on the three-pointer, no good. Up comes Abigail Reinick into the front court. Gets it to Hoffman. 1:30 to go here in the third quarter. Panthers trail the Griffins by 3. Ball to the right wing. Fontbonne goes into a 2-3 zone. Hoffman throws it in to Madeline Steven. Iberg will let a 3 fly on the pass from Steven. No good. Up comes Fontbonne. Bailey into the front court for Fontbonne. They throw the ball around. Harbor to Busher to Fopp. Fontbonne with their second unit in. Ronshausen has the ball out front. And she drives, and I think is going to pick up a foul on Iberg. Let's see. Yes, a foul on Iberg on the drive from Ronshausen. It's been a good third quarter for the Fontbonne Griffiths here, especially early in those first 5 to 7 minutes. They made about a 16-3 run on the Panthers.
It happened in a hurry to start this quarter, and now it's evened out a bit, flattened out. And credit to the Panthers for sustaining the rush and making the adjustments on the fly.
Ronshausen, first free throw is up and good, giving Fontbonne a 4-point cushion with 57 seconds to go in the third period. Her second free throw's up and good. 5-point lead for Fontbonne. They had got the lead up as high as 9, is what I have in my record book. Hoffman throws it into the front court to Meek. Meek to Pal Goodman. Gives it back to Abigail Reinick. Pal Goodman back to her for a 3. In and out. And up comes Fontbonne. This is Bailey. Nice pass by Bailey. I think it was tipped by the Panthers. They're going to say no. From here, it looked like it was tipped by the Panthers, but I think it was just thrown out of the reach of her teammate by Bailey. 34 seconds to go. Greenville trying to get the ball into the front court. They do to Abigail Reinick. Pal Goodman throws it in to Madeline Stevens. She's double teamed down there. Back out to Pal Goodman. Up to Hoffman. Now to Meek. Meek back to Hoffman. Hoffman tries to make a pass to Abigail Reinick. Can't, and I think she's going to pick up a foul. Busher got in there and took the ball away from Hoffman. 12 seconds to go. And that foul is called on Hoffman, her second, and that'll put Fontbonne to the line.
Yeah, good call there. Hoffman just stayed fighting for the ball a little too long and ended up grabbing the leg of Busher. Easy call for the official. And a tough end to this third quarter here for the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers had pushed it to a 2-point game at one time. That's as close as they got here in the third quarter after that 16-3 run. And Fontbonne, as my partner Tyler Rosen said, has really come back here to close out this third quarter so far on a positive streak. They're hitting their free throws. They're hitting buckets when they need to. And throughout this third quarter, they've kind of forced Greenville into some turnovers. Coming into this second half, Greenville had tallied 9 turnovers. Busher hits both of her free throws to extend Fontbonne's lead to 7. Coach Mulholland is going to ride with this second unit to finish the half, and we may have a travel. Let's see what we have. I think Hoffman's going to pick up a foul called. He is, and they're going to call that. Are they going to call that on Fopp? We'll see who that is. It might be on Busher, which would be her third. That's what the scoreboard shows right now. So that foul was called on Busher. I like Busher. She just does a lot of simple things out there. She doesn't do anything she can't do. They throw it to her in the post. She will shoot it in there if she has an open shot, but she's a really good passer with her back to the basket.
Well, definition of a role player who knows and understands her role and isn't afraid to stick with that. And you need a player like that on every team.
Hoffman puts up her second free throw, and that'll cut the Fontbonne lead to 5. Nelson, it's going to be knocked away by Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman does a great job in this press getting to passes, as well as Iberg. Those two really see the floor well in this Panther press. Tough location to throw the ball into, but Nelson's able to give it into Bailey. Bailey will let one fly from half court. Goes off the backboard, but no good, and Fontbonne will take a 65-60 lead as we close out the third quarter. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network.
Your hard work and integrity, your drive and determination, they should be rewarded. At Greenville University, we believe that you are more than a test score. Earn up to a $19,500 annual scholarship just for being you. No test score, no GPA requirement. Panther Preferred, a character-based scholarship that sees you for you. Learn more about the Panther Preferred Scholarship online at Greenville.
Welcome back to Greenville University, H.J. Long Gymnasium, where the Greenville Panthers trail the Fontbonne Griffins as we start the fourth quarter, 65-60. It was a really good third quarter for Fontbonne. They won that quarter 24-14. Won the quarter by 10. Greenville only scoring 14 points in that third quarter, their lowest quarter of this game. Fontbonne scoring the most points of any quarter in this game. Greenville will start off with the ball into the front court. Comes Allie Cantrell. Cantrell throws it out to Madeline Stevens. She'll let a three fly, and it grazes the front of the rim. No good, and Fontbonne will have the ball out of bounds. And let's see, Greenville's going to be in this full court press. And Pal Goodman stays on the floor with the Reinick twins, Allie Cantrell and Madeline Stevens. White, Ronshausen, Nelson, Bailey, and Pickett for Fontbonne. White loses a handle, and it goes right into Cantrell's hands. Comes up to Emily Reinick. Emily Reinick now trying to get the Panthers into something. Moving quite slowly are the Panthers, moving the ball around the perimeter. Now a pick and roll from Reinick to Madeline Stevens. And Emily Reinick got the Panthers into what they needed to be in, a little kind of a motion set is what I would call that, and a little pick and roll. I would think the Panthers could make some money on that Reinick-Steven pick and roll combination. Let's see if they don't look to go to that a little bit here. And they didn't even run that cleanly. They can run it cleaner than that. Madeline Stevens' second free throw is good. All of a sudden it's a 3-point game. Fontbonne is having to work a little bit harder against this, what I call full court man-to-man press. Ronshausen throws it back up to Pickett, now over to White. Nelson up top of the key. She'll try to drive, kicks it to Bailey. Bailey throws it back into Nelson. She works against Abigail Reinick, no good. I think Fontbonne's a little tired. A lazy pass by Steven is deflected by Nelson, intercepted and put in by White. That was just a lazy pass by Stevens. Now the ball comes up into Pal Goodman. Pal Goodman had a three, bypassed it. Emily Reinick in the left corner now will dribble out front. The Panthers will try to get organized. They throw the ball to Allie Cantrell, dribbles baseline. She can't get out of a double team on the baseline. Fontbonne is out, and here they come on the run. This is Ronshausen. Top of the key. She'll kick it out to Pickett, and they'll call the women's basketball travel that they call in the SLIAC. Any shot fake ends up in a travel call, as I used to say. And sometimes there is a shuffle with that pivot foot, and that's what they called on Pickett. Now Greenville into the front court. They've got to get this ball into Steven. They do. Stevens not being double-teamed. Now we'll move into the center court. She kicks it to Abigail Reinick, to her sister at the top of the key. In and out. No good. Abigail Reinick hustles for the rebound. We got people scrambling. And now we'll have a timeout called by Coach Roy Mulholland. I'll check here on the timeout situations, Tyler. I'm trying to look if that's here on the last stat sheet here, and I don't see where they list timeouts. But, well, Tyler, it's a 5-point lead for Fontbonne, and really in the second half, you'd have to say Fontbonne has really kind of controlled this game for the most part.
Oh, absolutely, and it all started with the first 5 minutes of that third quarter, and then Greenville had a little bit of a push there just to kind of keep their heads above water, but Fontbonne with a good response towards the end of that third, and they come out firing. They're playing physical down low. They're forcing Greenville to make plays, not allowing Emily Reineck to hit these open threes, not making it easy for Madeline Stephen down low. See what the Panthers can't do in the final 7:45 to change that.
A great play by White. Fontbonne had scouted that play, that cut from Emily Reineck. White takes it all the way to the hole for a bucket. 7-point lead, Fontbonne. Now they steal it up to Nelson. She puts it up and in. And Roy Mulholland calls a timeout. A really good timeout there by Coach Mulholland. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network.
My name is Eric Garcia, and I'm a first-generation college student from Los Angeles, California. Coming to college, I wanted to continue my athletic career while pursuing an engineering degree. I wanted to fulfill my parents' dream that they had for me, getting a degree.
Welcome back to H.J. Long Gymnasium. I'm Doug Faulkner along with Tyler Rosen. Your Greenville Lady Panthers trail Fontbonne 71-62. They break the press and get a layup by Iberg, 71-64. 7 minutes to left. There's plenty of time in this game, but Greenville's going to have to switch the momentum. They've given up 17 turnovers today, uncharacteristic. Ronshausen for Fontbonne, kicks it to White. She lets a three go, no good. It goes all the way out to Ronshausen. She dribbles baseline, slips through a double team, no good. Rebound Hoffman. Hoffman forces her way up the court and into the front court. To Emily Reineck. They've got to look for Steven. They do, but it's thrown away again. A nice play by White. White's done an awfully good job on Madeline Steven, even though she's about 4 inches smaller. Now Nelson loses it. Here comes Hoffman into the front court. She spins, goes up with the left hand, puts it up. They're going to call travel. I thought it was a good move by Hoffman. But they're going to call Hoffman for walking. A critical call there by the official. 71-64, 6 minutes to go. Coach Mulholland speaking to the official. There's Pal Goodman almost with the steal, is not able to get it. Bailey decides to take it into the front court with some speed. Now Fontbonne slows it down. They throw it into White. It's knocked out of White's hands. Back out, and we'll call timeout for Fontbonne. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network. We'll take a quick break.
Your hard work and integrity, your drive and determination, they should be rewarded. At Greenville University, we believe that you are more than a test score. Earn up to a $19,500 annual scholarship just for being you. No test score, no GPA requirement. Panther Preferred, a character-based scholarship that sees you for you. Learn more about the Panther Preferred Scholarship online at greenville.edu.
Welcome back to the campus of Greenville University, H.J. Long Gymnasium. I'm Doug Faulkner along with Tyler Rosen. 6 minutes to go in this one. Fontbonne has the ball underneath their own basket, up by 7. Ball comes inbounds. Greenville will be in a 2-3 zone on this possession. They throw the ball into White. And Fontbonne it's blocked by Hoffman. White throws one up. It goes off the board. No good. Rebound, Pal Goodman. Into the front court comes Reineck. Reinick kicks it to Hoffman. They've got to look into Steven. They now throw it to her, and she puts it up and good. Madeline Steven cuts the lead to 5. Here comes Bailey for Fontbonne. Let's see if Greenville goes back to man-to-man. They do. They were in the 2-3 zone on the ball out of bounds, and now they're going to call a foul. So when Fontbonne entered the ball, Greenville was in a zone. I thought that impacted Fontbonne a little bit. But when you're down 6, it's hard to stay in a zone. Greenville trails by 5 here. And Pickett will go to the line for Fontbonne. Her first shot is up and good. 72-66 Fontbonne. Pickett's second free throw. Eyes it, flies it. It is good. 73-66, a 7-point lead for Fontbonne. Fontbonne puts on a press, and the Panthers look a little bit stunned. They throw it up to Hoffman. Hoffman now gives it, and the Panthers rotate it around. Pal Goodman at the left wing. She dribbles in, spins, puts up a shot, no good, gets her own rebound, puts it up again, and finally there'll be a foul called. And let's see, the foul's going to be called on Ronshausen, and that's her third. Ronshausen's talking with the official because she felt like she kept her arms straight up. I don't know that I disagree with her, actually, in watching from this catbird seat. Nonetheless, Pal Goodman will shoot a free throw. Her first is up, rolls around the rim, and is good. Greenville from the free throw line for today is 15 for 18. The second one is up and good, 83% for the Panthers. This is a 5-point game with 5 minutes to go. Nelson brings the ball up, is careless with the ball, and they're going to say it stays Fontbonne. I thought that might have gone off one of the Fontbonne players. Came out of Nelson's hands. It looked like it kind of slipped through her hand. And then they're saying it went off a Greenville player out of bounds.
It was awfully close there on that on this sideline here.
The ball goes and is knocked away from the inbounds pass from Nelson to White. And the Panthers will have the ball. Abigail Reinick handling some of the ball handling duties here for the Panthers. They throw the ball into Madeline Stevens. She kicks it out to Pal Goodman. Her three is good. A big three by Pal Goodman to draw the Panthers within 2, 73-71, 4.5 to go in the game. The Fontbonne throws it into White, and it goes down. And the Panthers are going to have to find a way to deal with White. I wondered if Coach Mulholland might try a little bit more zone. But when you're down, it's hard. Emily Reinick tries to kick it out and does to Pal Goodman. Goodman does not take a shot, throws it to Hoffman. Back out to Emily Reinick. She didn't want the shot. Now she'll take it. It comes back to her, and it's good. 75-74. Let's see if Coach Mulholland wants to stay man-to-man here. Trailing one with 3:46. Fontbonne has been able to take advantage of this man-to-man defense, and now there'll be a kick. 3:38 to go in this one. The Panthers have gotten themselves back in the game here in this last 2 to 3 minutes, largely from the shooting of Pal Goodman. Now they'll go 2-3 zone. A long shot by Harbor for Fontbonne.
Harbor's been relatively quiet so far this afternoon. A big shot there to push this back to 2 possessions.
Pal Goodman to Madeline Steven for 2. 2-point game. Pal Goodman seeing the floor well there. Hoffman making the long pass into the front court to Pal Goodman to make that whole thing happen. Now Fontbonne in their half court, working the ball around the perimeter. Panthers are still man-to-man. Crossover in front is Ronshausen. It's no good. Pal Goodman with the rebound. Let's see if the Panthers, what they want to do to try to tie this one up. Hoffman to Pal Goodman. She's trying to drive, but good help by Fontbonne. Backdoor cut by Hoffman. She dumps it to Madeline Stephen for a 10-footer. We got a tie game. 2:30 to go in this one. Yes, they're going to call that foul every time. Pal Goodman way too close. Put her hands on Bailey. You don't need that foul at half court. Pal Goodman is going to get a breather, and Allie Cantrell's going to come in for her. Trying to see what the defense is, and I think the Panthers are going to stay man-to-man. 2.5 to go. Ball comes out to Nelson, stolen by Abigail Reinick. She'll put it up and good. The first lead for the Panthers since real early in the third quarter. They've come storming back. Allie Cantrell putting pressure on Bailey. Making Bailey work for it. Into the front court is Fontbonne. This is White. Throws it to Nelson. Nelson to White. White throws it to Nelson on a cut, and it's good. A little pick and roll by Fontbonne. Hoffman gives it up, and it goes to the front court to Emily Reinick. Reinick kicks it to Madeline Stephen. 17 seconds on the shot clock. They get it into Madeline Stephen. She puts it up and good. 82-80. I keep wondering if Coach Moe might try that 2-3 zone. He's going to stick with his man-to-man. 82-80 here. Fontbonne in the front court. Greenville has just not been able to stop Fontbonne in the half court here. Now a long three. That's what the Panthers wanted. And it'll be Panthers ball with 1:07. Timeout, Fontbonne. We'll take a break. You're listening to the Panthers Sports Network.
It started in a small town in southern Illinois, where a dream to play collegiate basketball took me from my familiar Christian home to a faith-filled university. And before I knew it, I found a new home, on the court with my basketball team, as a student body president, where I felt even more in love with my community, and I found a leader, and myself, in the marketing department.
Welcome back to the campus of Greenville University, H.J. Long Gymnasium. Doug Faulkner along with Tyler Rosen. Panthers up 2 with just a little over a minute to go in this game. Nelson's going to be called for a foul trying to get up on Hoffman. Both teams have plenty of room to give up fouls. Onto the floor comes Pal Goodman. She's going to come in for Allie Cantrell. 1:05 to go. Panthers are going to have to run pass and cut offense here. And they run it very well. If they get a bucket here, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Fontbonne. Panthers going to work it in to Madeline Stephen. She works her way down, puts it up and good. Madeline Stephen takes the Panther lead to 4 with 50 seconds to go in this one. Fontbonne slows it down in the half court. White to Ronshausen to Nelson. Nelson looking. Back to White. Panthers are going to have to close in. Bell will let a 3 fly. Bailey, it's rebounded by Emily Reinick. Coach Reinhardt trying to get the Panthers to slow it down. They can almost run out the clock, and now Fontbonne has to foul. And they foul Abigail Reinick, and they've got several fouls to give here, Tyler.
Yeah, I think they'll just have actually just the one more to give, and that'll put Greenville in the bonus.
23 seconds to go on the game clock. 21 seconds to go on the shot clock. Another foul is committed by Bailey. Fontbonne has to do that because they trail by 4. So Greenville with a comfortable lead here, given the time and score of this game. But Emily Reinick could make Coach Mulholland breathe a lot easier with these 2 free throws. The first one is up and good. That takes the score to 85-80. And one thing this Lady Panther team has been able to do well all year long is close out games. The second one is good, and that takes the lead to 86-80. We'll keep it here. 20 seconds to go. Well, Tyler, if you're Coach Fitzgerald here, he's got to look to get a bucket and then get into some kind of a press, try to see if he could get a quick steal. If he doesn't get that, he'll foul. But being down 6, some people would say he has to give off a 3. I think he just has got to get a score. I mean, ideally with 20 seconds, you want to get the 3, but I don't think you're forced to get it right now.
Oh, absolutely. And the reason for the timeout, ball moves up, you advance up past half court, so that takes out one element of taking time off. I think your first look is a 3. If it's not there, you quickly move on, try and get it 2. And then, as you mentioned, everything else try and fall into place, get a steal off the inbounds, and if not, you're going to have to foul and to try to extend this game out. But I think first look is a 3. If it's not there, quickly make an adjustment and try and get at least 2.
Yeah, Greenville has really done a nice job here in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. I think Coach Mulholland has done a great job with his subs.
Yeah.
He got into trouble a little bit with that second unit. He got him out quick enough that the lead didn't get up into a double-digit figure, and made some real critical subs, Pal Goodman being one of them, playing a critical role down the stretch. Fontbonne now trying to get the ball inbound, struggling. Ronshausen out front, Madeline Stevens on her. They drive to the hole, she puts it up, and it is good, and they foul. Just the thing you did not want to do.
Coach Roy Mulholland not happy, and he knows Madeline Steven is much a smarter player than what she just showed right there. Tough foul to commit.
So Ronshausen has to convert this to make it a 3-point game. 86-82, Greenville ahead of Fontbonne. 16 seconds to go. The free throw, Ronshausen puts up, and it is good. And now Coach Mulholland will call a timeout, and what that does is Greenville will no longer have to take the ball out of bounds underneath their basket. They'll be able to move the ball into the front court. Tyler Rosen mentioned that when we were talking before. Well, Tyler, you still got to get the ball in bounds. There's still a lot more time than you think, right? 16 seconds, a lot can happen here.
Absolutely, and if you're the Panthers, you have to understand that Fontbonne still has to foul you. So get the ball, secure it off the inbound, and just take the foul, work to the line. You'll see probably Emily Reineck or Abigail Reineck get the inbound, maybe Madeline Steven as well. So you got options if you're the Panthers, good options at the line if you can get there.
Madeline Steven taking the ball inbounds. And this will be critical. Fontbonne matching up man-to-man. And they get it in to Emily Reineck, back to Madeline Steven. They throw it to Abigail, and the Panthers are able to use some clock here. My goodness sakes, they eventually call a foul against Nelson that I don't think she committed. I think the officials did Fontbonne a favor there because Hoffman had dribbled around Nelson, and I don't think there was much contact there.
I was going to say it was a pretty delicate call, we'll put it that way, for the physicality that we've seen all game today.
I don't think Fontbonne wanted to foul Emily Reineck, but the problem was it's cost him about 9 seconds in clock time. Hoffman puts it up and good, and that's a big free throw right there. That takes it to a 4-point game. Now it's a 2-possession game for Fontbonne. Hoffman's second free throw is up, and look at her step up and hit 2 free throws. She doesn't look like a freshman. No. She looks like a senior.
2 gutsy free throws there, pushes the lead back out to 5, and it negates, in a sense, the foul and old-fashioned three-point play at the other end.
Now, something tells me, Tyler, that Coach Mulholland may say something about not fouling.
Yeah, you would think so. He was pretty animated after the last one, rightfully so, because it's one of those things you kind of half jokingly say when you watch a game at this point on TV. You're like, hey, no fouls, no fouls. Don't commit a foul there, and You don't have those 2 big free throws at the end, but 5-point lead, less than 10. Yes, I'd say no fouls. Let them take whatever shot that the Griffins want to take.
I'll tell you what, as we watch the SLIAC women's side, Tyler, I don't think you can put anything in the win column before the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fontbonne gets the ball in. Ronshausen will let a 3 fly long. Rebound Emily Reinick. And they eventually foul her. But Emily Reinick did a nice job blocking out, and that will do it. The Panthers are going to take this one. There is 1.2 seconds to go. But everything here from here on out is just a formality. 88-83. The Panthers do a great job closing out another close game. Reinick's first free throw is good to extend the lead to 6. And Fontbonne had this margin, the 6 to 7 point margin, most of the second half. Takes it to 90-83, a very high scoring game. And the Panthers will take this one. We'll see if we can get Coach Roy Mulholland up here. But a fantastic game by Fontbonne. I mean, Fontbonne came in here after a tough game at Webster and really played an outstanding game today and had the lead most of the way in this second half. They came out, Fontbonne did, with a lot of energy, created a lot of turnovers, and I think the Panthers are going to be right around 18 to 20 turnovers in this game. If my latest stat sheet wouldn't give us, I don't think the final on that, so I don't want to make any guesses. But 18, I believe, turnovers or so, and that was really something not characteristic by the Panthers. Coach Mulholland making his way forward here. Congratulations, Coach, on that win.
Wow.
Another example of your team being able to close out a game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we wish we wouldn't put ourselves in these situations over and over and over again. But, boy, the kids are just finding ways to dig in and get it done late. And with our senior kids on the floor, they just do so many things well under pressure. And so, yeah, hey, conference, man, we'll take a win, put it in the pocket.
I was just going to say.
Go get some dinner. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling Tyler, I don't think you can put anything in the win column in women's SLIAC basketball before the game.
No, absolutely not. Everybody can beat you almost any night. That's a really good Fontbonne team, and they played well. They played hard. But I just, I wish we'd win one where we didn't have to sweat it all the way. It's making Coach old. But I like the way our kids dig in late, and defensively and offensively, we got after and we finally got it done.
Well, Fontbonne came out in the second half. I thought one of the critical substitutions you made, because you were trying to get your starters rest, and Fontbonne's making that run, and you got to make a tough call. Do I get him back in there or not? And I think as I watched the game, we were talking about it, I thought, boy, if this goes another 2 or 3 possessions, we turn it over, it could be a 15-point game.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really critical. You got them back in there, your starters, and Fontbonne had only built, they hadn't gotten it to a double-digit lead, I don't think. I think they got it to 9. And then from that point on, you slowly, made it a much closer game and got back in it.
Yeah, and you know from your days and years of coaching that there are no automatics. There's no book where you look in and go, hey, at this point, and, you just kind of got to go by gut. And you know what? Sometimes your gut goes, and it doesn't work for you.
I know.
But in this case, it helped stem the tide, and then we were able to keep those kids fresh enough to continue to do it down the stretch. And just really proud. And Bean Hoffman, Caroline, man, she came in and just really gave us some energy and did a really nice job, and so that was good.
Yeah, we talked about Powell, Goodman, and Hoffman down the stretch. Almost kind of led the way just a little bit in the way they played.
Yeah.
Of course, Madeline Steven, you did a good job continuing to get at her. She hit critical buckets for you, and that was the difference. But I'll tell you what, you watch this Fontbonne team, and Ronshausen is a nice little addition for them.
Oh, man, absolutely. They just have a lot of pieces. Really, really a tough matchup for us, right? Because we usually run like a 4 and a 5, and it's just hard for us to do that against their 5 out when they can all handle and drive. And so it forced us to make some adjustments on the fly, but our kids were able to do that. I'll tell you what, though, I want to say this. Down the stretch in a tight game and we're up, if they foul Emily Reineck, I really like my chance. Man, that kid can just step to the line. Got ice in her veins, man. She just steps and knocks them down.
Well, and I think the toughest free throw late in that game was Hoffman's free throw.
Yeah.
You were only up 3, and they fouled. She had to get it to 4. She acted like she'd been doing it her whole life, and she was 25 years old.
Yeah, well, she has, because she's been a good player, even through high school. But, a couple of things I think we got to learn from. One, when you're up 6 and somebody goes to the basket, you got to give them 2. You can't give them a third one and make it a 1 possession. And then one of the things that I said to her was our upperclassman had moved the ball. She had another pass. Like we could have used up another 3 or 4 seconds there. And she didn't realize that they couldn't foul her, but she will. But our kids moved the ball well, and then she did. There's so much she did today that helped us and hit those big free throws, and then our kids did a good job down the stretch.
Tyler Rosen was saying when they hit the shot and we fouled them, he thought you had serious consideration for the gymnastics coach to really make a move on how high you got up in the air.
Oh, man.
Your form was perfect.
Well, thank you.
Brought your knees up. You must have been up at least 3 or 4 inches on that jump, Coach.
Yeah, well, I've used up my entire vertical for the entire year right there. It's all gone. It's all done. But, those, especially when you win, those are great learning situations. We go to film, and we can work on film, and our kids will just learn and get better. And that's, hey, we're 4-0 in the conference. And everybody's coming for us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I don't. What was the final score?
Well, the final score here is 90-83.
Yeah. So like I say to our kids, I think we can score. We just got to figure out if we can stop somebody.
Yeah.
And so that's going to be where we work and
what
we do. But
this game,
I just like our kids.
Uncharacteristically, Coach, you're going to have to feel good about this. You won the game 90-83 with 21 turnovers, and that's not characteristic of your team.
I agree. Yep.
So,
what did we shoot at the free throw line today?
Free throws were great. 23 for 26 for 88%.
Yeah.
That's a big, big deal when you shoot 26 and you can hit 23 of them. But
we lead the conference in free throw percentage, and our kids just do a great job. And that's one of the reasons we're tough late. When you got to come foul us, we're going to knock them down. And so, hey, conference win. I'm gonna take it and go celebrate with my kids, and then we'll get back to work on Monday and get ready for West Min.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach. Good
Thanks,
win.
Guys. Thank you.
Any final comments or commentary on tonight's game, Tyler?
Just an absolutely great job by the Panthers staying with the flow of the game. It's very easy to get blitzed like they did at the start of this second half in the third quarter and almost kind of fold a bit and get, backed into a corner. They didn't, and you knew Coach Mulholland wouldn't let them.
Yeah.
But they stuck with it. They got some big plays from some key members, and those maybe you wouldn't think come out with a big win, as he mentioned, stay undefeated in conference, and a very tough conference at that.
Yeah, they got to come right back against West Min on Wednesday night, so it doesn't get any easier. For Tyler Rosen, I'm Doug Faulkner. We're going to join you shortly for the men's game, where the Greenville Panthers will again face the same opponent on the men's side. You're listening to the Panther Sports Network.